Hello, hello. I'll wait just a second to get started. I know this whole Perry counter thing is crazy. I think it's 3 o'clock. Hi, Rhonda. I think it's 3 o'clock Eastern time. I'm out of town and I've been in Central time. I'm so confused. But I know the big Teacherpreneur Telesummit is coming on soon. I wanted to make sure I was okay. Thank you. Did you know you could Google what time is it in Eastern Standard Time? You can. I learned that. Like I said, I want to make sure I want to be the warm-up show for the big blab, which I'm going to have to catch the replay of or listen to while I'm driving. Let me turn this around. Andrea Reynolds. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, and I love social studies. I'm super passionate about that, and I'm actually coming to you live from the Children's Museum in Whitwell, Tennessee, and I was just at a scope talking about this. My Periscope handle is Run It Reynolds. That's who I am, and my store is Running Things with Reynolds, and I kind of want to talk to you about why I'm here. Well, first of all, I love social studies, and second of all, I think you have to, if you're branding yourself with a certain niche, you have to build authenticity and credibility. And I love social studies. I'm not just faking that because, I mean, why else would I make a, it's my favorite. Why else would I make a detour to a museum where a town of like less than 500 people, so think about that. You know, if your niche is science, then look for a great example of erosion somewhere, or go to, that's a bad example, but on the way back I was looking at in the mountains there are some really cool waterfalls. Be like, take some pictures, go to an aquarium and broadcast from there. Build yourself with your niche. Or if you are doing language arts, go to hear an author speak, or go to a book festival, and there you go, you're branding yourself. Okay, not just literally branding yourself on social media, just building your authenticity with your niche. And like I said, I have a shirt that says I love social studies, and I was gonna wear it yesterday, but there wasn't a iron in my hotel room, and I also forgot my other pants I was gonna wear. So what I have on today, I have my little World War II victory thing, because I love social studies. But anyways, last week I was talking about getting ready to go to a conference, and that is what I have been doing the past few days, and I want to give you some insight and some pointers. And so there's a big huge glare. Okay, that's better. My hair caught, sorry. But first of all, I am not happy about all the follow parties that were on Facebook last week. You guys, stop it with the follow parties. Who are your ideal customers? Are they other teacher sellers, or are they real teachers in the classroom? I didn't join in on any of those follow parties. I'm not trying to be homecoming queen. I'm trying to help people, and I'm trying to, get my mission out there. My mission to help make social studies engaging and to modify curriculum for English language learners and gifted kids. So think about that, It's so tempting to jump on those bandwagons and, oh, follow me and I'll follow you back. But I can't tell you how many times that I've lost followers right after, because people only do that just to get you to follow their store, and then they're not going to follow you back. So if you sell like 1st grade math materials, unless you're someone I'm friends with, I don't want to follow your store, because I'm not going to be buying your products, and I don't care if you follow my store. I want to market to people who are going to be using my products. So that's something to think about. I know it's tempting, but ask yourself what your goal is. Are you trying to win homecoming queen? Are you trying to get your mission out there? Last week I was working on Canva to make my display book, and I ended up actually doing it on PowerPoint, not on PowerPoint, with PowerPoint, to just make it easier for myself, because I waited till the last minute, which is the story of my life. But I wanted to show you how it turned out. I made mine different. Everybody else had theirs like bound and laminated pages, like they'd sent to a printer or something. Well, I printed out mine myself. I printed them on green paper to mark, because my brand colors are green, and I wanted to build my credibility. And I also wanted to show you how my business cards came out and what I did. Kind of think about what kind of freebies or giveaways you could have to go with your brand. Do not spend a lot of money money on this, because if you're doing this like over and over, I bought stickers, okay? That cost me like $40 for like 1,000 and something stickers off Oriental Trading Companies. But at first I was like, oh, I could do whistles for running things with Reynolds. And then I thought about, I looked at the price, and that was outrageous. And like I said, I was at the TPT. I was there with Michelle Luck. It was the Tennessee, this is too many T's, I keep confusing myself, the Tennessee TESOL conference, so for teachers of ESOL. So that's what conference I was at. And Michelle Luck of Michelle Luck Social Studies, she does these conferences as a representative of Teachers Pay Teachers. And so I got the opportunity to go with her, and I can't even tell you the amount of like awesomeness that you can get if you put yourself out there in person and you're talking to people. And my millennium is made because somebody was like, oh, I've seen your stuff online, I think I've bought one of your products. I was like, oh, that just like that made my day, that made my millennium. So when you go put yourself out there and you market yourself and you speak to people, you get yourself to be somebody who people recognize. And also, a lot of people had questions about Teachers Pay Teachers and selling on that. And, that's not my niche. My niche is not to help Teachers Pay Teachers sellers, but, maybe they'll remember, that I was kind and helped them and answered some questions. And, I gave out my business card, and one girl was like, thank you so much. She's like, I'm going to take your card. And I was like, yeah, feel free to help me. So, you can also offer your expertise about selling on Teachers Pay Teachers. And and a lot of people don't even understand what it is. And that's something, have your little elevator speech prepared, that like 1 to 2 minute speech for what your mission is and what Teachers Pay Teachers is. Because a lot of people are confused about the fact that it's digital downloads, and they also think that it's only for elementary school people, and that's not the case at all. There's stuff for K-12 all the way K through 12. There's stuff for special areas. There's stuff for foreign languages. There's stuff for life skills, for special education for adults. There's homeschooling. There's so much stuff on there, and people just don't realize. So if you're a TPT seller, always have a little couple of a blurb in your brain to kind of help people understand. Because I tell you, all the younger teachers and all the there were some student teachers there too, they all knew Teachers Pay Teachers. They did. That's our target audience, is the younger crowd. Okay. These older teachers who've been teaching forever, some of them were like, you know what, I need to get into this stuff because I know that I'm becoming, irrelevant, and I don't know what this is, and I need to find out, and I don't understand Pinterest. And, if you just take the time to get to know people, okay, this is going to get a little salesy because I'm all about the entrepreneurial endeavors now. I'm leaving the classroom in May, and I'm spreading my wings. I've maxed out my time as a regular classroom teacher, and I want to get out there and I want to spread my mission to everybody. So if you don't want to hear super business talk, then you might want to leave. I'm a big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. I finished his Ask Gary V book, and I'm already listening to it again because I love it so much. And one of his other books was Jab, 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 Right Hook. Okay, and that means getting people interested and then going for the right hook, which is the big punch. And that's kind of what I did. And the way that you can market yourself, if you're going to one of these events, you always have your store on sale during that time. And so we gave out coupon books, and I always tell my student teachers, have always used it too. We gave out coupon books and goodie bags, and people love the goodie bags. And if you're giving out something like that, make sure you don't have too much of it, because people were upset that they didn't get one. So that was a good thing, when we ran out, because it creates that fear of missing out. So you create more interest for the next time. And Michelle had put together these coupon books, and all the coupon books had exclusive freebies that people could get, and with QR codes or whatever. And so when people came up to the table, I would talk to them, what area are you looking for, what age do you work with, and then you find what people want to tell their story. Okay, if you're selling to people, they want to tell their story. So you get them talking about themselves, and you tell them how you can help them. I didn't say, well, you know what, I hate teaching and I'm getting out of it because of testing, blah, blah. No. Okay, that might be the case. I don't hate teaching. I hate testing. That's what I hate. But anyways, I would get people, make connections to them. Are you a mom? Make a connection as a mom. I'd be like, oh, you teach middle school? My son's in middle school. I don't know how you do that. Or, ask them about what, if I am English language learner, I'm ESOL certified. So this was my target audience. So I could say, when I worked with this student, this happened. And, speaking of elevator speeches about TPT, also you need to be clear on your niche, because if you are marketing to people and what are you going to say? I just have a store on TPT. No, I would say, and have your clear mission statement. I'm Andrea Reynolds. I create products that modify social studies for English language learners and for gifted learners. The end. You need to have that prepared for yourself. And if you're not clear on what your niche is, you need to figure that out. And I've decided I'm going to officially adopt the pronunciation of niche and not say niche. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I'm going with. So have yourself prepared. Be ready to market yourself, because whether or not you're just doing this as a side hobby or something that you want to get into full time, you need to have a plan about whether or not you're going to be devoting more time to it, or if you're just doing it as a side job, like I said, but you still need to market yourself, and you still need to tell people how you can help them. Because my main hook that I gave people was, wow, Teachers Pay Teachers is such a time saver for me. It makes my life so easy. And people are like, yeah, you're right. So that's a huge selling point, because I'd rather pay a couple of dollars for something than spend my time, because time is money. Okay, so that's just my general tips. And I also, Michelle Luck is actually doing one of the sessions at the Teachers Pay Teachers conference, but I've gotten firsthand one-on-one tutoring from her, which is really awesome. And she's just a really giving person anyways, and she just wants to help people. And so that was really awesome. And she gave me some great tips. Hi, Tania. So something I thought about while I was there was the fact that she and her husband, besides the Teachers Pay Teachers stuff, I didn't realize they had jewelry too, because at the social studies conference where I went, I didn't get to go to the conference because of testing. I just went and got to meet her in October for the first time, and because she was at the conference in Athens, which is kind of close to me. They didn't have this out because she just had mostly stuff for social studies, but here they had jewelry. Okay, how many teachers don't like jewelry? Not very many. Okay, not very many. And they were, I don't even know exactly what the profits were, but it was custom made jewelry, and people were going crazy over that. Okay, so if you do go to a conference, think about some kind of hard good that you could sell too. Okay, I was like, I've made I made a mailbox with IKEA boxes, and I don't know if I can necessarily bring that, but I could make a smaller version of it. Or do you make some kind of craft? Because people are so excited to be out of the classroom. They're so excited to not have to eat in a cafeteria, and they're just, they're teachers just that's your perfect opportunity to just, ooh, jewelry and shiny, pretty stuff is going to get their attention. So think about a hard good. And also a lot of the people were like, oh, I wish this was printed out for me to buy. My picture dictionary collection. This one lady was like, I would buy this whole thing. And I was like, oh, there's a thought. I was like, you gave me some ideas. So think about if you can have if you go to an exhibit or you go somewhere as a vendor, or even, anywhere, have something printed out. Do you have a collection of something, or do you have a set? I have a set of these picture dictionaries, which are, basically study guides for English language learners or for anybody. And what you can do is have some printed out too. When I went to Jessica Ivy, Ideas by Jivy, I went to her Mentor Sentences workshop last summer, and I bought one of her bound books, because after I went, I was like, I love this. And so think about what kind of digital, not just digital, think about hard goods you could have too. Especially if you have some kind of a craft, what teachers like, what teachers want to buy. If it's cutesy, if it's covered in, I was like, I could cover anything in washi tape and make it look cute. Okay, I'm crafty, so I was like, that's what I need to do. And I thought about printing out, some signs I love social studies, little posters, stuff that people could buy. So think about stuff that would represent your brand, little giveaways. Don't buy full-size candy bars and waters and Cokes and, don't spend a lot of money. So I talked to Michelle about this, and she said she knows a lot of the other vendors because they run the same circuit. That doesn't bring people into your store or your like booth. That just, people just will grab the candy bar and go. Okay, you need to have a creative, eye-catching display when you do have stuff like that. Michelle has her topics like in a sandbox because she has a collection of these like archaeological digs, and so she has this little shoebox filled with sand, and she has her topics like as little like signs in the sand, and it's so cute. And this other like Pearson was there, and they had a really colorful display with a bunch of stuff. This other booth right beside me, all they had, the girl was like sitting there, she's dressed in all black, monochromatic, which is fine. I mean, not everybody's flashy like I am with their colors, but their display was all yellow, and I couldn't even tell what on earth they were marketing. So you need to make it real clear with what you're selling, and you know, make sure your display is eye-catching. And here's my tip, okay? Another tip. I am not normally at school, or if I'm somewhere, I'm like, you know, I don't talk to people because I'm always busy and I always have a lot on my mind, and I don't, you know, I'm not friendly sometimes. And so I think I said that's why I slept so well last night, because I was so exhausted from being like Polly Peppy yesterday. But that's what you got to do. I don't know about you guys, but if I go in a store or if I stop by a booth or something and the person does not acknowledge me, I'm not going to buy from them because I just think that's rude. So I said hello to everybody that came over there or near there. And that is, you know, so out of my comfort zone. But in business, you have to step out of your comfort zone. It's all about that. I went and talked to some of these other vendors, companies, about being a consultant because that's what I want to do. And I was so nervous. But I brought my card. I was like, oh, here's my card. You know, like I had all the confidence in the world. So I'm all about faking it till you make it. And so, like I said, you have to speak to people, be polite. You know, like I said, ask people questions about, get to know their story, because that's just common courtesy. Good customer service, being polite to people, acknowledge. It's kind of the same thing on social media. If someone comments on your stuff all the time, or, you know, be polite. That's, you know, good old Southern hospitality is not lost on me. And that's for anybody hospitality. So be polite, greet people, get to know their story. You know, tell them how you can help them, not just I'm selling this. I didn't say, oh, I'm selling blah blah, and go for that hook. My hook was, oh, and by the way, all of these stores are on sale right now, and it sure helped having me there in person, where I could say, oh, that's my display book, that's my product. So if you ever get the opportunity to go market yourself in person, do it. And there's a lot of these back to school bashes coming up, and there's a big one in Murfreesboro, which I don't know if I'm going to go in person. I just bought bought ad space in the coupon book for it with Michelle, but she gave me a great idea. She was like, you should look for local ones in Atlanta. And I was like, ooh, that's a great idea. And she told me, you know, you do have to pay the display, like the vending, like for the booth. And she said, don't pay more than like you would make in a month on TPT. And so you could also go in together with some friends who, Tania, I'm going to be talking to you. Because think about this, and Jess has talked about this before too, like marketing your products towards parents and like homeschooling. And that's one of the sessions I'm going to at the TPT conference, is the one about homeschooling, because I want to learn more about that. Because you can go to a back to school bash and maybe there won't be teachers there, but you could say, oh, look, here's a product that I was thinking about making like some cheat sheets for parents with the social studies topics that I cover. And that's especially good for math, because I don't know about you, but I told my son to stop asking me for help with math years ago. He's in 8th grade. I was like, I don't get this. So think about how you can make products for parents and have stuff, printed hard goods to sell. Okay, if you make jewelry, you're gonna be good. But let me show you. I'm cold. It's cold out. It's colder in Tennessee than it is in Georgia. And I want to go back to the this grocery store or whatever and get the key to this exhibit. You didn't see my last Periscope. I'm actually the Holocaust Museum in Whitwell, Tennessee, and that's an actual boxcar that was used for the concentration camps, because I'm writing a blog post about helping kids cope with tragedies and stuff like that, and I was like, why not build my authenticity? But let me show you my business cards. So what I did for my display And my giveaway was little stickers, and they were like international, around the world stickers. And I didn't put these with my business cards. I kind of just had them laid out on the table. And there's my business card, and I made it creative by putting washi tape on the bottom. So mine's a little bit different, and I can't even tell if that's focused. I don't think it is, but I have like a little catchphrase. Like, what do? I modify social studies for all learners. That's my catchphrase. And then some people on their display books, they had like their social media info for everything. But let's face it, I'm not selling on Twitter. I'm not selling on Facebook. I'm selling on Teachers Pay Teachers. So I want them to have my Teachers Pay Teachers info, and I want them to have my vlog info, because that's where I'm building my credibility. So don't be so people are flipping out about this Instagram. I could care less. I'm not selling my goods on Instagram. I'm selling my goods on Teachers Pay Teachers. So that's the market that I care about, and that's the social media site I'm going to be worried about. If they start organizing their site by and only let people that are top sellers sell, then I might start caring more about my followers. Okay, so here's the front of my book. And like I said, there are some things I would redo if I did this again. I just took a binder from my classroom that I had stuff, I don't know, I think it said sub plans or something. I don't ever write this much sub plans. So I just covered my binder with scrapbook paper and washi tape. And then most of us have those little handheld laminators, right? So I just laminated my stuff myself instead of paying to get it shipped off somewhere. So this is the front, and I did not see anybody at the conference really using the QR codes. I did see people taking pictures of stuff, lots of screenshots and pictures. So that's why I thought to have the bit.ly link, because people can find me that way, and also my blog. And I would never use a bit.ly for your blog or your website, because how are people going to remember it if it's a bit.ly? Okay, Brunel's TPT, that is easier. And there, like I said, that's my mission, is making social studies accessible for all learners. Now, my display book, I had a really good idea, but I didn't execute it properly. I put this whole display book online. I saved it to my Dropbox, and I had this thing printed out for the inside of the book that said, you can access this catalog online. And then I realized, I was like, crap, I did not save my PDF as a protected file. So I was like, okay, forget that plan. So if you do make a display book, make it something that's digital, and you could save it online, and then on your business card even, or, you know, on social media, you can put, here's where you can access my catalog online. So what I did, like I said, I'm all about the green. I printed my stuff on green paper, and this was my first page. That's my mission statement for my business. And I put, like, here's who I am, and, you know, I build my credibility with my I Love Social Studies quirky shirt. And then, did I put join me on Instagram? Join me on Twitter? Find my Facebook? No. I think this is where I get more bang for my buck, is my Facebook group and Periscope and Blab. So think about that. I didn't put all my social media info on here. And then I took like some of my picture dictionaries, and I am so in love with Picasa. I just made, and I'm redoing all my previews. So I put like some of my images from my picture dictionaries, and then I made a complete list. And this is what I'm printing out, and I'm going to put into a bundle, because one lady was like, I want this whole thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I better jump on this and get my bundle done, because I think that's where I'm going to get bang for my, this is a complete curriculum. This is a complete American history set. So think about bundling for sure. And then I kind of just I organize my products by topic. This is my other format. And like I said, I have the QR codes, but thank you. But I don't know if, I didn't see anybody scanning those. And like I said, I just used this paper from Michael's, which is really cheap. And then I finally used washi tape, and I'm anal, so I did like a pattern with it. Because I wanted mine to look unique. And I'm going to be honest with you, people picked up mine before they picked up anyone else's. Because look at the cover, you know, it's eye-catching, it's cute. They don't want to pick up the same old one that looked like a workbook. And then I knew this was the ESOL conference, so I put my products, like this is for English language learners, at the very front. And then I created links to my products. I put like my Christmas projects right there, which maybe nobody's buying those right now, but maybe they are. You never know. Some people plan ahead. Not me, but some people do. I put my social studies projects together. I put my acrostics together, and then I made sure I'm pointing out, oh, those are freebies. So people are like, oh, you know, they want to find those. And then I did my jigsaws. So obviously I'm branding myself as a social studies person, right? And then more jigsaws, and then my little I Spy, and I could have kicked myself because I do have these printed out in my classroom. And people picked up the little sets, like the task cards on the ring. They picked those up and looked at those, and I was like, oh, I should have brought those. So that's something to think about. Like I said, not just selling, like if you have bound copies of your products, but if you have your stuff printed out in action, bring it. And then, like I said, I've integrated grammar and my fancy folders and writing bingo, which I reworded as test prep because I used that tip from Jess. And then at the end, I have like my character ed stuff and golden ticket, which is the character ed. And then at the back, like this is stuff that I'm not really pushing because 2 of these are freebies. So I put it towards the back because I do have this. And then the very last page, I have science stuff. It's not my jam, but I did include it in here. So that's my final book. And like I said, because I was there to direct people to turn around to my thing, then that made, you know, a lot of people, like I said, hopefully they'll remember me. And after that coupon book ran out, I thought to myself, I was like, I should have printed out some of my coupons to pass out to people, because that, you know, people want freebies. They do. People are grabbing that full-size candy bars from the other vendors like crazy, but they weren't buying any of their stuff. They were just grabbing the candy. So save your money on full-size candy. But anyways, like I said, I'm a couple hours away from home, and I do think I'm going to go get the key to this exhibit so I can go inside, even though I think I might have a mental breakdown afterwards, because it's, like I said, it's the Holocaust exhibit. But I want to go inside while I'm here. So I'm going to go back to that grocery store. Thank you for watching, and I hope that I gave you some good tips. I know it's kind of all over the place, but like I said, I just wanted to tell you everything I remembered and all my advice I got from Michelle while I was there. And I am excited about the Teacherpreneur Summit coming up on Blab, and I'll probably be catching the replay because I will be driving. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I'm Andrea Runnels. Run It Runnels is my Periscope handle. Thank you for watching.